What is up, guys? It's your boy Reptile Guru here, coming at you with another YouTube video. In this video, I will basically explain how to take care of your bearded dragon if you're getting a new one, or if there's something you need to know if you already have one. So let's get started. If you're getting a new bearded dragon, you will typically get it as a baby. And as a baby, you want to keep them in a 20-gallon, but you can also do a 40-gallon like this. It's about 36 inches long, 18 deep, and 18 tall. As you can see, you do not have to get a fancy one like this. It just makes it easier for me getting her out and stuff. Also have this lock on here. It's just to keep stuff out that I don't want in. Also, as you can see, I have all these little fancy decorations and such, and that is just to keep her occupied, active. Some stuff you will need though is something for her to reach her basking spot, like this stick, or like this guy has a ladder down here to get to his. Food and water bowl, and a couple plants, maybe some rocks. You know, as you're setting it up, you want to make sure you have your whatever you're using for her to get to her basking spot. Sorry, I cannot talk today. You want to make sure that you have your plants evenly distributed. Cannot talk today. And as you can see, I do have a background on mine just to keep her from seeing her reflection, because sometimes they do get a little crazy because they think it's another bearded dragon. Food and water wise, you want to make sure your bearded dragon has water about 3 times a day. You can either put it in the bowl or spray them. I do both just because I know some of mine drink out the bowl and some don't. But yeah, if you spray them 3 times a day. Food wise, they can pretty much eat any type of worm you can think of, such as a mealworm, waxworm, superworm, hornworm, any type of worm, dubia roaches, what else, trying to, oh, crickets, crickets you can get at your local pet store. I usually give mine mealworms just because they last longer. Crickets usually die pretty quick. If you're trying to give your bearded dragon the best in protein, I suggest dubia roaches. They are pretty high in protein, and they do live way better than any other bug that you can feed your bearded dragon. Now, as a baby, protein is more important than solids, so it's about a 80-20 ratio. 80% protein, 20% vegetables and such. Speaking of vegetables, such as your salad, as a baby you should give your bearded dragon salad once a week. And stuff you can put in your salad vary. Vegetable wise, you can give them kale, mustard greens, dandelion greens, anything that is heavy in greens. The darker the better. Some people say stay away from iceberg lettuce just because it has no nutritional value. Sometimes I do give mine iceberg lettuce just because of the hydration, because that's basically all it is water. Now they can eat a little bit of fruits, but not as much as the vegetables. The vegetables are the most important. Fruit wise, they can have blueberries, raspberries, bananas, but you want to keep that on the slim, because you don't want your bearded dragon getting hooked on something that they can't have on a regular basis, such as your greens. Some other stuff you can put in your salad are bearded dragon pellets, and those basically are these little colorful pellets that smell like bananas that you can buy at your local pet store. Lighting wise, this is the most important. If you have a 40-gallon, I suggest a 75-watt basking bulb and a 12-watt UVB bulb. For a 20-gallon, you should get a 65-watt basking bulb and the same amount of UVB, a 12-watt. You might be asking what a UVB bulb is, and basically when your bearded dragon goes to bass for the 10 to 15 minute period of after they digested the food that you have fed them, it basically helps them digest their food. Without that bulb, they cannot digest, and eventually they will get something called MBD, which stands for metabolic bone disease. And what that is your bearded dragon's bones become deformed and they will look kind of weird. Let me see, is there something I haven't covered? I usually clean mine once a week. It gets pretty messy in there if you have an active bearded dragon, but yeah, I usually clean it once a week. But back to the lighting thing, because I forgot something. You want to make sure that you have a 12-hour cycle of light and a 12-hour cycle of no light. If you stay in a cold state, I suggest during the winter that you keep the UVB bulb on all the time, 24/7. But if you stay in a warm state like Florida, you don't have to worry about that. You want to replace your bulbs every 6 months because the coating on the bulbs will go away after that period. So you want to replace your bulbs every 6 months, no matter if it's out or if it still is going. Now as your bearded dragon grows, you kind of want to get away from the protein and more into the solids. It'll typically go from your 80-20 ratio to a 20-80 ratio, which would be 20% protein, 80% solids. Now as he gets to an adult like this one here, he gets solids every day, and I give him protein once a week. As your bearded dragon grows, you can give them pinky mice. I only suggest that about every 2 months you do that because it tastes like ice cream to them, and you do not want your bearded dragon to become lethargic. And all that is that means it gets kind of slow and slothy. Also, let me see here if I'm missing anything. Oh, yes, you want to make sure that you have a hide in here, and that's basically for your bearded dragon to sleep in or climb on top of, whatever your bearded dragon prefers. Now if you do want to get multiple bearded dragons, I suggest getting 2 females, because if you put a male with a male, they will end up fighting and one of them or both will die. If you get a male with a female, eventually they will most likely breed at the wrong time and have deformed babies. So if you do want multiple bearded dragons, get females. Now, the max you can hold in a 40-gallon is 2. No more than that. Let me see here. Now, when you're first starting out, you don't have to get this type of tank. You can just get a cheap one like this one. It's about $70. This one was about $130. So, I mean, you don't have to get a big old fancy tank like this one. You can just get a basic one like this. It's just what you prefer, what makes it easier for you. Let me see here. You can hold your bearded dragon for up to an hour. No more than that. They love being handled. You can handle them every day for an hour. They pretty much chill and sit on your shoulder. You can watch TV with them, sleep with them, you know, stuff like that. Can't think today, jeez. Sorry, guys. But, you know, as a baby, that will be kind of sketchy when you first get them because they don't know you. And you gotta, you know, work on them. Like I did with this guy. This guy is pretty chill. He's always chill. She's chill too. You just, you know, she's in hibernation. I also had an idea. If you guys want me to do a series on how to train your bearded dragon, just like this video, comment down below, train your bearded dragon, and I will do that. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Like this video if you enjoyed, subscribe if you're new. Sorry that I kind of am doing what I just did, paused. I can't really talk today, but you guys get the idea of this video. So yeah, subscribe if you're new, like this video, share it with your friends, and peace.